Okay, so first thing you have to do is actually get the app itself. And you can get that here at GitHub. So copy that. I'll paste it in the post here. So you want to download that tool. And you'll get to this page and you're going to want to download the TGC underscore GUI.exe file, and you'll save that to your desktop because it's not something that installs and puts it in program files. You just run it. Okay. So once that's installed, you'll end up with a piece of software. Let me find it here and stick it on my desktop. Let's see, where is it at? Here it is. So you'll end up with an icon on your desktop called TGC GUI.exe. Okay. And then once we download that, we can run it. And you'll end up getting a black screen like this, which is the code running in the background, which brings up the GUI here. Okay. And the first thing that it looks for, there's 3 tabs. So course tools, and you've got to select a course directory of where your file's located. And all files for the TGC are right in here. So they're in app data, local low, 2K, blah, 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 2019 courses. And any course files that you have are going to be in here. All right. So they're under your user account. So in my case, it's C, users, Kent Schaefer, app data, which is a hidden folder. If you don't see that, you have to go up and unhide system folders or hidden folders. Okay. But once you go in there, then local low, then 2K, then the golf club. And I would suggest creating a shortcut right to your desktop if you're going to do this, and courses. So you end up in that course area. I normally just take this icon, drag it down so I don't have to keep going there. So here's my shortcut to there. So the first thing you need to do before you do anything is go into the golf club, and let me go in there. And you're going to want to go into the designer, and we're going to create a new course. And we're just going to name it whatever. So I'm going to use, I don't know, Spring Mill as, well, no, let's use, let's see, let's use whoops. Let's type in Marion CC. All right. And the important thing is, one, just pick a theme. You can always change it later. Whatever. I'm going to choose, I don't know, something that's somewhat fitting to the course that you're going to pick up and work with. So I'm going to probably pick countryside. All right. Terrain, this is all very important here. So water level, 0. Hills, 0. Everything, 0. We don't want anything auto-generated, nothing. So we're getting everything down to 0. We're going to hit apply. Everything should go away. Then we've got to go into the layout. Number of holes, again, 0. Nothing. We don't want anything. Nothing, 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 nothing. Everything needs to be zeroed out. Okay, once we do that, we go back and we can continue. So now we just have an empty canvas with no elevations, with no trees, nothing. So that's exactly what we're looking for. So it's just a barren wasteland. All right. Once we create this file, we can get out of the golf club altogether, save and exit that file, and we can get out of 2019 altogether. No need to have it open at the moment. All right. Now, another thing I would suggest doing is creating a courses folder on your desktop. So I have one on courses that I'm working on. Does the height matter as far as what, Vlad? Yeah, okay. So here's what we're going to do. So we named a course, right? And you're going, what the hell? Which course is it that we're looking for? All right. And that's simple to find. We just shut down the golf course, right? So let me find my shortcut here. Right here. All right. So let's go into that shortcut we just created, what goes nicely over to our golf course files right here. Now, here's your course files, right? In that path. Sort it by date modified and look at the dates. My time, it's 8:01. So I know that this gibberish number right here is the one I just created, right? So I'm just going to rename that. So I'm going to rename it Marion CC. Okay. You can go ahead and rename it anything you want. Just try to keep it short. It doesn't like really long names with spaces. So don't use any spaces in the course name. So now we have this course file that's completely empty with nothing. It's just a bare file, right? Now what we're going to do, right, so we're going to have this blank course for the Lidar. All right. So now we go back to the TGC tool. And the first thing we need to do is tell the where the files are going to be. Now, I have a folder already created called Golf Course Files that is located on my desktop. All right. So for sake of testing, we're just going to create a folder. So create a folder, golf course files, put a subfolder of whatever. I'm going to call this one Marion Test. It's blank, okay? I'm going to take this file that we just created that's blank and copy that and put that here, okay? So now we've got nothing but a course file. Now the hard part begins, all right? So after we download the tool from here, we already have it. We have it running, right? We can close this tab. We're done with this. So we already downloaded the software. Now we got to find out, all right, what course do we want to do an RCR on, right? So I chose Bethpage Black. Okay, here it is. So I found, I just did a Google search, all right, of golf courses, and I said, oh, Bethpage Black would be cool. All right, so I did a search for it. I found it on Google Maps. Here it is, right? And the reason I had to look it up on Google Maps is because the next piece, which is the United States Intra-Agency, okay, this right here. Unfortunately, guys, I know you're over in the UK and it's tough, but all right, this is the one for the United States. And there's a lot of good courses in the United States. All right. But instead of, you know what, I forgot I was going to use the example for Marion. So let's go back here. And I'm going to do Marion Golf Course. All right. So I do a Google search for Marion. Here it is. All right. Here's the course I'm looking for. This is the one I want to RCR. So now that I know a general idea, if I scroll out, I can get a map view of this, right? And try to figure out where is it? Where the hell is it? It's actually near Philadelphia. Okay, here's Philadelphia here. Marion's up here, right? So it gives me a general idea of what I'm looking for. Now I have to go back in here and say, all right, well, and unfortunately, this site does not give you a searching. You can't search. All right. So you have to find it. You have to find the location of what you're looking for. So there's 3 tabs on this site: identity, base map, and share. You're going to go to base map first, and you're going to click on street. All right. Then if we hone down, you're going to have the street names, you're going to have the route numbers, all that good stuff. All right. But try to get in an idea of where you're at. So here's Philadelphia right here. So I know I got to get into that area somewhere, right? So I just keep scrolling down, trying to find this golf course. And I know it's near Philadelphia, so I keep looking. And then I'll go back to Google Maps and say, all right, where am I? And you can start honing in and saying, all right, there's Philadelphia. Where's a major road? So there's 30 here. It's off of Route 30. Here's the course. We're trying to find it. So Route 30 is a major road in Philadelphia area. So then I'm going to go back here and try to find 30. Oh, there it is, right? Here's 30. So I know it's off of 30, so I got to find the course. And lo and behold, here it is. Here's the course down here, see it, Marion Golf Club East. So once you find the course, all right, you just click on the course somewhere, all right, and go to identity. Now, under topographic, if it doesn't have a number in here other than 0, you're screwed. There's no LIDAR information, and you're going to have to pick a different course. Okay. This one happens to have 2 available LIDAR maps. All right. But also, you need to look at this. So I put it up here. You see this blue line? This blue line means if I download this file right here and I pick this one, because this is 2008, this is 2015. I want the newest, latest, and greatest that they have available. So I'm going to download this piece. And when I do that, I get this menu, and I want to go to the national map download under data access here. Okay. So I hit the national map. Yep, it's going to take me away. I normally open that in a new tab. All right. So then you end up with this site. Now, the one you're interested in here is LIDAR. So you want this one. You'll end up checking that. And again, this is all going to be recorded, so you can go back and watch it 100 times if you need to. All right. So you have the elevation source, LIDAR, IFSAR. So, hey, Mom. Have a great night. Okay. All right. So once we have the map that we want, we click Find Products, and stuff should show up here. All right. And this is the 3rd website now we've been on, right? And we know that we wanted the 2015 Delaware Valley, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so that's what we're looking for over on this website. And lo and behold, we have a 2015. Okay, so that's the newest one. Not the newest one, but the one that's available for that area. All right, so I'm going to take that. Oh, no, I'm not, because we didn't hone in on this area yet. So unfortunately, it's the same thing here. All right, return to search. We've got to go down here. Same thing. It's a pain in the ass, I know, but there's no, well, this one does have a search. So we should be able to type in Marion. Let me see if it'll find it. I don't think so. What's Marion Golf Club? Oh, yes, it is. There it is. So beautiful. So there it is. All right. Now here's the key. The course is here. All right. Um, let's see. And so it gives us the course. Now we need to find products for that area by clicking that. All right. And here we go. So here's one from 2006 and 8. Here's the 2015 we were looking for. We want this one. So we are going to download this one, the last LAS file. All right. And these things are pretty big. So we're going to find our folder and we're going to save that file into that folder that we created for the course files. All right. So while that's doing that, we can go back here, right? Remember I said about the blue line? Here's the problem. Notice the golf course is in this quadrant too. So it's here, and we just downloaded the map stuff for here. So the only thing we would see in that map, in that Lidar info, is from here up. That's not good enough, right? We need all this down here. So you have to click in this side of the golf course on the other side of the blue line. Notice how this changed now. This is a different file. So we have to download this one as well. So again, we're going to go here. We're looking at data access. We always want to choose the national map. And I'm going to right click on there so I don't lose my spot. Open the link in a new tab. Okay. Let's go find spelling it wrong. Yeah, oh, absolutely, Vlad. You have to use multiple. So if the course is in different segments, you'll know when you run this other program, you're going to go, what the hell's going on? I only see half of the holes. Well, you know then that you have to download another piece of LiDAR, another grouping. Okay. So we're going to type in Marion. My God, why can't I spell it? All right, Marion Golf Club. There it is. We want the east one. Here it is again. All right. Now, one thing I didn't show you, there is a draw rectangle. So instead of getting all this LiDAR data that we really don't need, all right, I'm going to get rid of that. We're only going to draw out a section that we need, right? So we're going to hit this square button, come over here, and I know that the golf course is between, this road on this side here and up here, right near the railroad tracks. So I'm going to just grab this piece, all right, and go find products. Oops. And you have to do that LiDAR here, right? Right. So you can target your needs. All right. So we choose that third choice here for LiDAR, IFSAR. All right. And find products. Now, is that the same one that I just downloaded? Let's find out. Yes. All right. So we need that one. So we don't need that one. We already have it. So we need that piece there, which is totally different. Click that, find products. Now this, instead of trying to download all three of them because it's going to take too long, what's going to end up happening is you're going to end up with these files. Okay. Now, when I say these files, these are extracted from the zip files, all right, that you download, which are they're going to come in this format, all right. And then what I do is I use 7-zip and I'll extract it here. So I'll extract that zip file, all right, which has 5 files in it. So at this point, this zip file can go away and you just delete it. All right. There's 3 different maps. What's up, Jazinator? So I'm not going to do all 3 because it's going to take too long, but you're going to end up with course files like this. All right, I'm just going to repaste them in here. Okay. Thanks for the follow, bud. So you're going to end up with a ton of data. There's 3 LAS files, 1, 2, and 3. All right. That's all your LiDAR data for your golf course. If you're lucky, you're only going to need 1. All right. It all depends on the golf course. And if you screw up and you download 1 and then you try to generate it and you're going, well, there's only 4 holes here and there's a tee box missing over here. Yeah. All right. So then you need to go back here and find additional maps. Okay. So now that we have all the LiDAR data downloaded, we're ready to start working with it. Okay. So now we could go back to the program. So we already have the golf course in here, right? This is the blank country club Marion golf course that we created in the golf club with absolutely nothing at all, 0 in there. I stripped everything from that. So all it is the only thing it has is a theme. All right. Everything else is zeroed out. Nothing else is in it. And that's very important. All right. So now with that in mind, we know the folder that we have this stuff in here, right? So now we have to do this. We open up the golf tool and we find the folder. Marion Test. That's the folder I have my golf course file in. And I'm going to select that. All right. and I have to import the course. So I got to import. Here it is. That's our blank one. Okay. It's not going to show anything, and that's fine. All right. Next step is process. Yeah, right. Process Lidar. All you have to do is point it to this folder here where we have all the Lidar data. All right. Hey, Scoop, thanks for the file, man. So process Lidar. We already selected the course directory. We just need to do this. Select Lidar and generate height map. And normally, if you set it up correctly, you shouldn't have to do anything. You just say select folder and voila, it'll start working here. You'll see a bunch of code running through here. And depending on the speed of your PC, all right, I have a fast one, fast gaming one, so it's pretty quick. All right, but you can always track to see what it's doing here. All right. Like here is, where is it? TGC GUI. All right. Here it is. And it's already done. All right. For me. Okay. So in the middle of the script, all right, you're going to end up with a picture like this. And it shows you on the left side what the full picture is. That we're not dealing with. I mean, excuse me, on the right. What we need to do, all right, and this is very important, we need to narrow this down a little, right? We don't want all this LiDAR data crap all the way over here because then your map file will just be unplayable, all right? So all you need to do is start in a corner that's above, and we can see where the golf course is, right? There's the holes, and I'll show you where those holes are at, all right? Wyatt knows about that. So now I know I want that data, and you want to make sure that's square, and it's very important that you get every little piece of the golf course, because if you cut it off, it's going to cut it off, and you're not going to get it in the golf club. All right, so better to be a little too big right now. Hit accept, and the script will continue. All right, so it's still doing its thing here, and you can watch this screen. So now it's generating the height map, which is the LiDAR data that it's going to use to put into the golf course. Now, while that's doing that, I'm going to bring you to another website. And this is the most important website for this process. All right. So again, the searching capabilities of this is totally worthless. So again, we're going, all right, where is it? Well, here's Philadelphia. All right. And see all these little squares here? I already know that's me because I've already created this stuff. So lo and behold, here's Marion Golf Club East. Okay. Now, what the script is doing is it's reading. All right, I'll show you that in a second, Vlad. All right. But if you remember you saw that image. Okay. It's pulling it from this website. So this website, you need to go over immediately. And I'll post it here. Maybe. Hold on. Put it in here. Go over to that website and create an account. If you don't create an account, you can't create any edits. And your entire life of LiDAR will be in this website. Okay. It's very important. So I'm logged in as me here. All right. And what this website is, it's not only for golf, it's for anything and everything. So if you know where buildings are, you can put them in, label them, blah, 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 whatever you want to do. Okay. So here's the course that we're working on, Miriam, right? So that's what it's working on. And that's where it's getting this data. So it goes over to OpenStreet. It sees everything that I created so far: bunkering, greens, fairways, cart paths, water, okay, everything. And it's picking up anything that you create in here. All right. And I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Okay. So, you know, I mean, you can get as intricate as you want. And you might, you'll take a break and, come back the next day, add a few things. And the beauty of it is, even if you import this course, go into TGC 2019 Designer and start adding stuff like water and trees and stuff like that, you don't have to worry about losing that stuff uh, because you can re-import it without damaging your course file, and it'll add the added features. So that's very cool. All right. So we're done here. Okay. It says done. Go edit your mask PNG to remove unneeded areas. Okay. So just like we cropped it before, we're going to crop that file again. And that file is located in your folder here, wherever you created that, right? Here it is, mask.png. Now, so we're going to go and find that file. Bear with me one sec. Course files. Marion test. Here's the PNG. All right. So I use Photoshop. You can use anything you want. All right. But now what we need to do is we need to hone it in even further, because if we take this entire file and get all this extra junk here, your file would be huge, and you try to edit this file, forget it. You'll click to add a tree and have to wait like 30 seconds to add another tree. It's brutal. So what you're going to do is you're going to go through carefully. All right. Let's see. Make it a little bigger so we can see what we're doing here. All right. So here's the course, but I don't want to touch the course, but I do want to get around it. All right. So I'm going to loop around, but keep enough area that I don't screw up the course. Because if you get any red anywhere near that golf course, it will cut it off. So we want to get close, but not too close. You know what I mean? So we'll just go around here. I'm going to follow this road right up here because I don't want to cut off the clubhouse. All right. And then I want to fill in all this junk. Okay. So now we're good with this file. We need to save it. Exit out of our editing program. Now our mask PNG file is good to go, right? So now what we have to do is step 3. And that is this: import terrain and features. So now it's going to read that mask PNG file and start importing all the stuff that we created And again, that'll be the next step I'll show you in here. Okay. So anything that I created on Marion here, every single bunker, fairway, cart path, it'll put templates in for buildings. You'll be able to see where the buildings are going to go. All right. Everything that I create in here is now going to be imported into a golf club course file. So I normally leave all these checked. And this I'll show you. I'm still playing around with this, and it does work, but I'll show you how to do that later. Smooth greens, smooth fairways. It's the same thing as splining when you smooth corners and everything else. All right. I don't normally like to put them on because it takes away from the RCR, right? So you're smoothing things that really shouldn't be smoothed if you do it correctly. But I will do this and this. Okay. And what this will do is it's going to stretch out that elevated area so there's less that you have to elevate it. Okay. So once that's done, never use this thing. Um, it's funky. It creates these little trees that are a total waste of time, and you got to delete them anyway. So, so we're in the import terrain and features, all checked except for the woods and trees. All right, I checked these two extra things here, and we're ready to roll. So then we select and import again, making sure you're in your folder. That's all you need to do. Select folder, done. And you'll see the script running over in the far right. Okay, so this takes a little bit, not as long as the other piece with the Lidar. But the beauty is once you create this process Lidar thing that took forever, um, that is the long process. You never need to do that again, ever. Okay, that's this height map file right here. This is all your elevation stuff. And once that's created, you never have to change that again. Oh, no problem, buddy. All right, so it's going to go through. Okay, so it's done. It's done rendering the course. Here's a preview. Where's the preview? Well, the preview is right here. Course tools. Boom. Okay, here it is. So it just shows you a brief outline like, okay, here's what we're going to import. And you're like, okay, that's great. So how do we get this into the golf club? Well, first thing we need to do is we need to export the course, right? So we're in Marion Test still. I normally just click on this and then I'll just rename it. Yep, yeah, and I haven't even gotten to the best part yet, okay? And that's the actual creating of the elements in there. So this is one, Marion is one that I've worked hours on. So that's why I'm using it. But you can use any golf course. Um, so I'll just name this whatever. And when this names this, all it is the course name that you're going to see in the course file folder. So what I mean by that is this. I have a shortcut, and this is what I was talking about before, right? It's under my profile app data, local load, 2K, blah, 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 down to the course folder, right? Here's my courses that I'm working on. I'm going to save this file into that folder, right? So I'm going to save it right now. And eventually we'll see it pop in here, and there it is, right? So voila. Now we have a course file that we can open up in TGC 2019. So let's open up the game. Now, I don't know why, maybe my machine's too quick, but it seems like anytime I try to go immediately into the course file, it never shows up. So let's see. And it hasn't shown up yet. Okay, so this was that blank one we created. So anybody that showed up later, the first step in creating a Lidar piece is you need a golf course file, all right, from TGC to import, right? And when you do that, you need to create a bogus course. Just name it something and make sure that everything is zeroed out. Like, no, not there. Here. Make sure there's nothing, anything, everything zeroed out. Okay. And save the file. That's all you have to do. That's all this file is. And we'll get rid of this. Okay. Now, unfortunately, I got to get out of here and exit and go back in. And hopefully, the course file will be this one here, will be in there. And you can see the name that it's going to be under. It's going to be Marion Country Club, CC. So let's hope it shows up this time. And okay, I don't know why it didn't name it. Oh yeah, it did. It named it. That's what I wanted it to name. So here's my two, right? This was the original one I created. Here's the new one. It looks identical, right? No, it's not. Watch. Okay, done. Here's the entire course with golf cart, cart paths, bunkering, fairways, greens. All right, all the contouring of everything the way it should be. All right, RCR style. All right, now here's the important thing with this stuff. Yes, you're going to still have to clean up a little bit. All right, but also it does. If you flags like where's the clubhouse? Well, there they are. This is the area that you're going to have the clubhouses there and here. Here's a creek right here. All right. Unfortunately, it doesn't go and fill water in. That would be too easy. All right. But you can see the elevation here. Like this is a big valley here. And if you look it up on, let's see, Google Earth. So we bring this up. Here's the course. All right. So here's the driving range area, right? We can go back in here and just remember what this looks like. All right. Go into the course and I flagged the driving range area, which is over near here. All right. Here's the driving range. Look familiar? Two-tiered. Here's the driving range. Here's the putting area down here with some bunkers to practice on. Here's another building. Okay. So RCR, we're done. I mean, as far as the contouring, we're good to go here. All right. So how did we get this info into the map file, right? How did we get all this accurate stuff associated? We know where the Lidar came from, but how do we get these bunkers lined up, you know, set up correctly the way they should be? They should be contouring the way it is on the golf club, all right, on the golf course. All those contours should be exactly lined up with the contours from Lidar, and they pretty much are, all right? And the greens, the undulations of the greens and the tees and everything should be identical, all right? You can check the slopes, all right? They look pretty reasonable. All right, so there we have a course with Lidar, all right? Then I can go in and I start looking at, I'll play it first of all, just to make sure that it has good playability. Because the one thing that's a problem with this sometimes with courses is the tee boxes in TGC 2019 are too damn close. So you'll play from the black tees, hit the ball, and then you're missing all the hazards when you hit because they're figuring you to hit 275 on average because people are playing from the white tees. Okay. So sometimes you'll have to create a separate tee box or whatever just for the playability of the course. Now, ironically, this one's fine. This one's good. You know, it's good to go. So I played it from the black tees. It seems like it's pretty good in, you know, as far as playability. I mean, Marion is a tough course. It's got not much trees. If you look on it on Google Maps, here it is. And there's really not any trees in play to speak of. All right. This is the course. So, you know, but you can look at this and compare to what we have in the golf club, and you'll see bunker to everything is identical. Now, how did we get all this stuff? And how do you determine if the contouring is good? Well, that's where that other piece comes in. So we're going to save this and exit. And we're going to get out of here. Yeah, plant meter short. Now, here's another club I'm doing. This is a club I'm a member at. And it's you know, it's a smaller, less known club. It's a gorgeous club. Um, but you know, same deal. All right. The only difference is, you know, here's the bunkers. See how everything fits nicely in the contouring. All right, the way it should be. You know, it sits right down in here. That's the way it should be. If you do it half-assed, it's going to look like shit. I mean, it's, you know, there's nothing to it. See how it falls right in that gully there? That's the way the course is designed to be played, and the bunkers should be in those gullies. If they're not, it's going to look like crap. So everything else, and this is another RCR, all right? And you can see over on the edge here, see this? And I started to fill this in, but I've not finished. So you just have to keep raising this up and get it out of the way, right? So anyway, here's a driving range at the course, practice bunker. I I didn't do the clubhouse yet, but it's in here. All right. So all the water, you'll find out it doesn't fill it. I had to fill these with, you know, your glass pane or, you know, the water panes, whatever you want to call them. All right. All water will come in to the game as mulch. So anywhere you see mulch, you'll see that that's where water is supposed to go. And this is actually contoured for the lake. So it will be the proper depth. And you're going to have to match these panes up perfectly, you know, to get them, you know, lined up. It's a pain in the ass, but it's got to be done. All right. So that's it for the golf club. All right. And this is a huge file, so it takes forever to download or save or do anything in for that matter. Okay, so we can get out of here now. Because 90% of your work, and we're done with this as well, all right, for now. So, there's our course file. Well, this one, Marion Lidar, all right. There's the original crap file, so you can see how much it's grown. And the one I just closed down, that spring mill, look at the size of that. That's 14 meg. That's huge. But anyway, so how did I get that properly placed with the bunkers looking good and contoured and everything else, right? That's where this comes in. This OpenStreetMap, the one I pasted in there once, and we'll paste it in again because it's that critical. You need to go to that website and go sign up with an account right now. All right. Even if you don't work on it tonight or whatever, just go sign up. Um, you don't have to do it during the show, but do it, after the show. But anyway, all these orange boxes are things that I've done, you know, things that I've added, changed, whatever. Okay. So here's the course we're working on. And we can go down as deep as we want. In Flames, thanks for follow, bud. All right. So here's our golf course. And I'm going to go to edit up here, OpenStreetMap, edit, which gives you more of an overview, a live shot of what I've done. All right. So as you can see, there's all sorts of stuff here. You've got bunkers, and you can see the lines around the bunkers. You can see the lines around the fairways. I've got the holes marked out here, all right, on which holes they are. I've got cart paths here. All right. There's not many at Marion, but what little bit is, I've created it. Here's a creek. All right. Here's one small piece of water. There's not very much water on this course either. So, here's one piece of water that I mapped out. And if you click, you'll see what it is. It's a lateral water hazard. All right. Click on this. It shows you it's a stream. All right. What's this? Well, that's the golf hole because of the line that shows the entire hole. All right. And that's a tee box back here, right here. Just like TGC 2019, everything is about splining. If you if you shit spline, it's going to look like shit in the game when you import it. So like I take the extra time to do everything properly. So 90% of my time is spent in this website doing everything. So when you import it, you're done and you don't have to contour squat. You just start adding trees and put the water in and you're pretty much done. So there's a couple rules with this stuff, right? What we can do is I'll just delete some stuff. And this is live and this is global. So as I make a change, it becomes live for anybody to use. So there's a couple rules of thumb that I use for this. Fairways, and I can see this one needs to be adjusted. Hold on. So one thing I want to point out with this, in this program on this website, if you click over here, there's a menu on the right, and there's a stack of papers or whatever you want to call it there. Click on that. By default, it goes by Bing aerial imagery. All right. That's the one you want to use for your masking. If you don't use it, when you import it, this stuff is wrong. All right. So if you end up going here, which has a better one of these, let's see. Some of these actually have a better view as far as finding the fairways, and you can see the rough better and all that. All right. But let's see. But whatever you end up doing and using, just make sure you flip back to Bing. All right. And make sure you're on that when you do your splining. Okay. So let's do, oh, I don't know. I don't want to do that one. It's too big. So let's pick a course. Let's see. Let's delete that. We'll do this hole here. Okay. So let's pretend that nobody has edited this thing. All right. T-box. Done. All right. So I'm just going to leave this here and get it out of the way. So drag it over here. Same with this. I'm just going to drag it out of here and get this out of here. Okay. So here we have a hole that has not been masked now. Now, if I save this right now and I import it into the golf clubs and through that program, this one, that hole would be missing. Okay. We wouldn't have hole number 4. And you'd be like, where the hell's hole number 4? Well, that's because we forgot to mask it, right? So we've got to go down and say, all right, well, where's hole number 4 or 8 in this case? Here it is. So I can get a pretty good view of the tee box here. Okay. So what I need to do is I need to go to the area thing up here. Click that, which will give me my icon, and start splining. Now, the secret to tee boxes is you do not want to go over to the rough. You want to keep, if anything, you want to stay a little further away from the rough. So, just follow it around. And again, if you do a sloppy spline, it's going to be sloppy, just like in TGC 2019. All right, so I'm trying to keep away from the dark area, but keep it consistent going around the corners. Because what'll end up happening is your tee box, your greens, your fairways, whatever will be, they're going to have edges that just roll off and they look like crap. So we want to keep the elevation consistent with everything, tee boxes. Now, there is a shortcut to splining it, but I don't like it, and I'll show you, but it's up to you whether you want to use it. So I try to keep away from the edge, not too much, and you can always drag it away and see where you're at. So you can try to keep consistent. All right, and say you spline too much and you go, oh shit, I should have put another spline in there. You can do that. You see these arrows in between? That means I can create, if I click on that, I've just now created another spline. So if I wanted to get, more detailed, I can just click in there and it'll create an additional spline point. So there, boom, there's another one, right? which will just give it a much nicer appearance. So this is done now. So this is my tee box. I've got to let it know what it is. So it's a tee box. Select the feature type. Well, you can type it up here. Select the feature type, and you want to type in golf. And you want to go down to where it says golf features. And here's your features right here. Okay. And this is a tee box. So we're going to flag it as that. And we're going to save that right up here. And then we have to come over here and upload it, which makes it live instantly. Okay. Which is cool. Right. So you can use, even without Jives, even without the Lidar data, if you notice in here in the program, there's an option for that right here. So if you had no Lidar data and you just wanted to use the pins, the greens, you would use this right here. And you can export the OpenStreetMap, right? So that's what that's for. So you're exactly right. Let's see, bear with me. Okay, so we just now created a tee box, right? So now we got to keep going with this hole and finish it. All right, okay, now we got a fairway. Same deal. You never want to go into the dark area of the fairway, or the Lidar is going to be screwed up. So again, we're going to go here. Now, there's two ways of putting spline points. I like to do the left click because I can control nicely where I want to put them, but there is another way. You can actually, and thanks to Terry Grayson for pointing this out, what this can do, and I don't like it because it gets sloppy, but you can hold the space bar in and drag your mouse and it automatically creates spline points. See them? I don't like it though because it's tough to control. There's so many of them, and to try to get rid of that, you know. And by the way, you have right here undo, so we can get one by one. We can get rid of that junk. Okay, so if you screw up, you can always go back and undo it. So, but I like to do it manually because I want to do it right and be done. So I want to be close to the area of the darkness over there, but I don't want to be in it because it's not the fairway and it's going to be screwed up. So I try to keep a little bit of room. And the beauty of this is you might import it and go, oh, that looks like hell. Well, you can go back right into the course in here, edit it again, save it, and run the program and import it again. Okay. So we're just going to keep dragging this around. And if you have big, flat, straight areas, you can extend them out here further. It's not going to hurt anything. As long as circles, I try to, when you're circling around, it's the same thing. You want them tight so that it looks good, right? The other cool thing with this is if you want it to bump up against the bunker like this one, you can do that. So see how I just linked it right there? So that means that fairway will link perfectly with the bunker. In this case, I don't want to do that because I'm going to redo the bunker to show you guys something. All right, so I'm done with the fairway. I just double left click. It creates this, same thing with splining. So what is this? Well, it's a fairway. So again, I don't know why the hell it hides golf. Got to type it again. Golf features, fairway. Okay, so you end up with this green area, you're done. All right, so that's flagged. So tee boxes, fairways, you want to stay inside, right? Uh, Bunkers, total opposite. You want to be outside, right? So I'm hitting my area button. I'm going back down here. And this is total opposite. You want to make sure that you stay outside of the white. Because if you don't, remember when I was showing you the course and the contouring of the bunkers and how good it looked, it's because I take the time to do it correctly. So you just, and this is where you're going to spend half your life in here. So it's tedious, but if you want to kick ass RCR, you're going to take the time and do it right. Okay, so here we go. Again, we got to type in golf. Now, once you use the feature once while you're logged in, then you can do it again. It'll keep it up top here. All right, so that's a bunker sand trap. It is. Okay. So now we've just created a fairway, a tee box, and the bunker. Now we need to create a green and a couple more bunkers, right? So same deal. We're going to go into the bunker. We're going to stay outside of it. It's not an exact science, but you want to get it as close as possible. And you do not, on a bunker, want to go and, it's better to be too far out than in. Because if you're in the bunker, it's going to look like crap. Sand trap. All right. So then we can do the next one, area. Now, the problem with this program is somebody can come in here and edit this after you and totally F it up. So that's one thing I don't like about it, but there's nothing you can do. It's an open source program and there's, that's it. It is what it is. All right, so we've done our bunkers, tee box. Now we just need to do the green. Again, area. And again, we want to stay on the inside. We don't want to be right on the edge because there's fringe there, right? And it's really not part of the green. Just like in TGC, you always have a fringe, so you want to keep it away from that fringe. Otherwise, you're going to end up with that red and yellow crap. And the other thing is, once you do this, and say you screw up and you go over there and you're like, oh shit, oh, that one's too close. Well, you can always go in later, okay, and just hit that, bring it in, and bring that one in, and you you can pull straight this way. You can move it out here. You can create another spline in between. There's another one there if I want to make a nice corner. So it's limitless as to what you can do. But the goal is to get it looking good. All right, so now we have our green done, and we got to select the type feature. And of course, we haven't created a green yet, so guess what? We got to type in golf one more time. Golf features, putting green. Okay, so now we have all our items created. We can go up here and save them now. Now it's going to save all the changes we just made to the global map once we hit upload right here. So we're going to upload it. And you might find out when you pick a course and you do this and it looks like crap, you can always go back in, clean up the bunker, fairway, whatever, all right, and re-import it again. All right. So that, do you lay out fringe and light rough around the green as well, or do that in the actual course design? So let's see. Right. I mean, unfortunately, Vlad, from what I've seen, um, unless somebody does course design, it looks like shit and you have to redo it. Okay. Uh, so like this one, there was some stuff done, but it looks like crap. So I had to redo it. All right. I'm just looking at this hole right here. Look at this one. I missed this one. This one's screwed up. The fairway is over here and the lines are here. So I can go here and we can try to move it. All right. I don't know what the hell happened to this hole. This is a mess. So you can highlight this whole thing, right click in an open spot in this green area. Well, you have to make sure that you see the entire fairway. Of course, this is a long one. Okay. You have to see the whole fairway, and then I can go in here and right click, and you get these symbols. All right. And I can move it. So I'm going to move, and I can take this whole thing and try to line it up better than what it was. Okay. And boom, I can move it down, and hopefully that's lined up a little better than what it was, and it looks like it is. All right. But even if it's not, yeah, that's not fairway. Okay. And you're going, well, how can you see there's a bunker here? Well, because you can go here and flip through some of these, and you might find one with a satellite image that shows a different angle, and you'll see, well, let me see, that there is in fact a bunker. I can see it over there. You can see the white over here. All right. So you can scroll through these, and they give you different views. Okay. To determine where the bunkers actually reside. Okay. So, all right. So lay out the fringe and light rough around the green. So by default, it uses the whatever you have set up for the default in that empty course that we created in the very beginning. All right. So the other thing that you can do with this, see how I have this little point tree here? This is what I'm experimenting with. So if there's trees, like this place has very little, a small amount of trees, which is awesome for me because I hate planting. But I might say, okay, I want to know exactly where that tree is supposed to be planted on the golf course. So what I can do is I can take the point right up here, go down here, and click wherever in the center of that tree. Boom. And then I can hit it again. And this is another tree, and I want to center it right on the tree. Boom. And I can go along and, you know, just put these in. And what it'll do, like here's another one I put in over here. All right, so if there's a few amount of trees and you want to know the exact location, you can put these points on them. And what the program will do is it will put trees at those locations. Okay? But you have to flag these as a tree, right? So highlight it, select the feature type, and do a search for tree, and there it is, tree. All right, boom. Select the feature tree. So you can let the program know what that is. And what it'll do is it'll import a tree into that exact location, which is pretty cool. All right, now that reminds me, I got to fix this line, right? So I got to move this. And also remember this, that dot there, that's your waypoint. So when you import your course, that's where your waypoint's going to be. Now, sometimes you're going to end up, you'll import a course and you'll see a hole that has, it'll go 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, like 5 of them all down this line. You're like, what the hell's this? It's because of this right here. These dots should not be there. This one and that one. So to get rid of those, you make sure that you're on this line, you right click on it, and you delete it. All right. And the same thing, make sure you're highlighted here, right click on it, and delete. And see how it's straightened out the line? It's no longer part of the green here. So if you ever import a course and you've got, instead of just number 10 highlighted, and you've got 5 10s all the way down the hole, here's another one. Look, that's a no-no, right? Highlight the line, right click on that dot, delete. All right. Now it's lined up the way it should be. So that's just a pointer that I've seen happen. All right, so this needs to go over. This is hole 4 over here. And this is hole 8. And again, here's one of those. There's another hole that we don't need. We don't need this one. We don't need that extra waypoint, so goodbye. All right. And then I need to move this one back on the tee box. And then we need to save all these changes. All right. Point has no tag. What did I do here? Oh, yeah. So here's some more tree. It'll let you know when you screw up. So I didn't flag that as a tree, so you got to let it know. Yeah, it's a tree. Same with this one. There's a tree. All right. So if you try to publish, save, fairway is a generic, that's fine. Point has no tag. Here's another one. Forgot to label that. So you got to tell it it's a tree. Now we should be good. That's fine. That doesn't matter. Upload. Yeah, in flames. It has this thing. It has this. I don't like it because it imports these tiny little trees. Um, I mean, it's cute and everything, but I will. This one works, and that's what I just did, and that's what I just showed you, right? So this will map the things, and we'll do it one more time. So I'm gonna go in here, and we're gonna delete that course. We're gonna re-import it with those changes I just made. So the beauty is once we create this mask, all right, I always try to keep a backup of that. Paste that on my desktop. And the course file, which is located where? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. So this is the one we just created. I'm going to delete that. All right. And we're going to create a new one. So course tools, we'll just go through the motions again. Marion test. Here's the folder. Select, import course. Here's the empty one, right? We don't need to process the Lidar data because we already have the Lidar data, which is this file right here. Okay. So we can skip over to here and add background, blah, blah, blah. This is good. All right. So this time I'm going to add this piece because we just added a couple trees. I want to see if it actually does it. So select and import. We're going to select the folder and hopefully this will work. Now, if you ever get an error here in here, it will happen. Okay. It can happen. That means something's up and you're going to have to change something. Okay, so it's done. We can go here and look. Okay, we're good. Now I'll just name this version 2, whatever. And we're going to export it. And we're going to go put it in our course file directory right here. And type this Lidar. We'll see it pop in here. Yep, there it is. So now we have the course file. Now we can go back into TGC. That's why I'm doing it in Flames. And I'll show you one more thing and then we're going to be done. Here's, and it's a very, very cool thing. So anyway, let's see if this actually shows up or if I'll have to exit again because my machine's too damn quick. Okay, cool. Here it is. So version 2, edit. Okay, here we are. And voila. See what you see here? All those trees that I had mapped, they're exactly where I want them to be. Okay. So it's not great for planning. If you have hundreds and thousands of trees, this is not going to cut it. All right. But if you have key trees that are in specific spots that you want them identical to where they were, you can flag them with that little uh, point that we just created here, right? So if you know you want that tree there, great. And if it's off by a little bit, when you look at Google Maps, you might come in here and go, all right, oh shit, this tree needs to be over a little bit, you know, and you may need to move it. Well, great, you can move it. Nothing's stopping you. All right. So that's a cool little feature. Hey, Dion, what's up, buddy? Um, yeah, so you can always go back and change those trees. You can go back in here now. And that's what I wanted to show you before we close the show. So we're in here and we want to, well, say you start working on it, right? So say, okay, I want to start putting this water in, all right? And all the water is mulch. So this is all water. Yeah, so the building locations I did mark. If you notice here, look, I marked the clubhouses as far as where they're supposed to be. Right up here. There's two of them. See this red one here and this one? Okay. Now, there's no classification called a clubhouse. So all you can do is classify it as a building, put some information in here, like what is it? How many levels? Whatever. You don't have to put in all this crap. But what this will do when you classify it as a building, all right, and you tell this to import buildings, okay, it will do it. It's not going to input. There's no such thing as an attribute called a building in TGC 2019. So, but what it will do is what it did. It will give you, if I could get over there, it'll give you a gray area of where that clubhouse should be. So I need to put one there, and I also need to put one here. Okay. That's what they're there for. These are the actual clubhouses. All right. So, but here's what I wanted to show you. So now that we have all our data in and it looks good and we're ready to roll, all right, we'll start working on it and we go, okay, what am I going to do? All right, well, this is going to be water here, this, right? And here's our cart path. So I'm going to put some water in. All right. So I'm going to start raising this bad boy up. And we'll start building some water. And water is a pain in the ass. All right, so let's just do that for the sake of doing it. All right. So, and we'll put another pane in here. Whoops. Where'd you go, Kent? All right. All right, so and all I'm going to do, I'm not going to do much. I'm just going to where the hell's my button? I want it shorter, Kent. What are you doing? All right, so we want it that wide, and we need it much shorter. So we'll put it down here. Whatever. All right, so we're just going to do this for the sake of knowing it. So let's pretend we edited our course and we started working on it, and we no, before I do that, this is a test anyway, so it doesn't matter. But say you start working on your course, adding trees, we start doing all sorts of stuff. But then you go in and you're saying, man, that one green looks like crap, or I forgot a tee box, or whatever. All right, you can go in and we'll save this and exit. Okay, this is the last piece, and then we're going to call it a night. So after you edit it, we already know it's CC version 2, right? So we're going to exit out of here. And we're going to go back here. And you go, oh shit, I forgot this green right here. Forgot to do this green. And you want to do it. So you can go like this. And I'm not going to really spend any time on here. But this is a practice screen. But say you wanted it in there. And this will happen. You'll forget a hole or something, and you're like, oh shit. So you'll go and you'll make your changes. Okay, you save it, you upload it over here. Okay, great. Now we got it. Well, now what? Because now it's going to overwrite your other course file and you're going to lose all your work, right? No, that's not correct. So here's the file, wherever it is. And you can always find the correct one by the date. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy that piece out of the 2019 folder, and we're going to put it in the other one, in the Marion test. All right. So we take that and we paste it in here. So this one's called Marion CC Lidar course, right? That's important. So now we're going to start over here. We're going to select the course directory. We go to the course files. We go to the Marion test. This is where that file is. So we're going to hit select. Okay. Here's the important thing. Import course. We're going to choose the new one, the big one, right? Not the little one. So we're going to take the one we already edited and put that in here. Okay, there it is. There's no need to process any LiDAR because we've already done that. What we want to do is we want to port in the new information for the golf course, right? From this website. We want to get that extra green in there. So we do nothing differently except make sure that that course that we imported is the new one, the one we already edited. All right. Then we can go in here and select map and OSM, I mean. Okay. And away it goes. Yeah, Vlad, water is a pain in the ass. Yeah, water pains are a pain. All right, Inflames, glad you could stop by, bud. And this guys will be up on Twitch and YouTube um, under TGC course reviews, so you can go back and watch it at any time. All right, so we're done. So we go here. All right. Now we can export the course. And we're going to call this one version 3. And we're going to export it. And we're going to put it over in our regular folder. And we're going to call it CC Lidar version 3. Okay, there it is. It's ready to roll. So now we can go back into the golf club. Over here, play. Hopefully I won't have to exit twice to get the course to show up, but you never know. There it is. Sweet. So here's the version 3, right? Edit. Remember that green that I designed? There it is, right? Oh no, here it is. That one that was over near the clubhouse. And if you notice over here, remember the water? There it is. Okay, so you can go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. All right. And you don't have to worry about saving your changes. So you can make changes all day long and just import into this program your new course that you just worked on. And you can copy it from here over to that other folder, import it here, and then run this only after you make changes here. So if you see a bunker that's screwed up, you can make the change, go up, save it, and then go back and update your course automatically, without worrying whether or not you're going to lose something. You won't. All right, does that make sense? Any questions before I disconnect? All right, guys. So that should be, you know, you're just going to have to find a course using Google Maps, find a course you want to find, find it, find out the general location of it, what's around it, and then go over here, find it here, and you're going to have to click in the different areas where there's a blue line. Okay. Download the Lidar info, all of them, and then download them from here. And then you're going to have to find that course again here, and you might go to a local course or something like that, and nobody's done anything. All right, which like my spring mill was never touched. I designed it from scratch, so you're going to have to do here everything, and you might come into a course that's already worked on, but it looks like crap. All the lines are messed up and all that. Don't be afraid to delete them and restart them and just save them. Okay. So that's it. And good luck, guys. I mean, it's an exciting tool. I would suggest to try it. And, you know, if you have any questions, let me know. You can PM me or whatever, and I'll see what I can do for you. Alrighty. So, everybody have a great night. And I'll talk to you probably Thursday night on the regular show. And we'll see you then. All right. Bye bye.